Ah, there you are. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our live YouTube special here. It's Lightning Answers. It's the second anniversary of the show, and frankly, it's unbelievable that we've even gotten here. And the first thing I want to do is say thank you to everyone who has subscribed, watched the videos, thumbs up, thumbs down, messaging, or emails, all of it. Thank you so much, because I would not be standing here. I would not be continuing to do these shows, even though I like to say we on the show. It is largely me, myself, and I. And the show would not have continued. It wouldn't have grown without your support. So thank you to everyone, including people such as our not exactly our sponsors, but companies that we've worked with most recently, like Elgato, Zuli with the smart plugs, the Roost battery people, G7 Power, the various companies who have helped us out with some products over the years to bring them to you and bring you excellent reviews and content. But again, thank you to the community and the people who have actually built up around the show, and people who are contributing through Patreon, and those who have contributed through the YouTube funding as well. It really we literally wouldn't have been possible without you guys. And the emails and the comments drive the Q&A episodes, it drives the feedback, it drives the very concept in terms of what the next episodes should be. And, you know, as we've gone on through time, you know, it's been 2 years, literally to the day, since I uploaded the first Lighting Answers video 2 years ago. But it started, you know, actually quite a bit before that. It started when I was working with my friends and clients and colleagues on their own lighting issues and their own home automation things. And many of them just said, you need a public outlet for this. You need some kind of way. And well, let's just make a long story short. Ultimately, the answer was YouTube. And in early 2014, I kind of pushed the idea a little bit further. And, you know, usually people start these projects and these channels on a very, very low budget. And in fact, we're kind of doing a throwback on low-grade equipment and shaky cameras today as kind of, you know, an homage to how we started 2 years ago. And it was very low budget, and it was not a whole lot going on in terms of production value, but the content was there. And when you're doing these kind of presentations, you know, we started with weird looking, you know, setups and whatnot, and today we've moved along quite a bit in terms of the production value that we bring to you. But really, with it starting 2 years ago, it was an experiment, and the great thing is that the community started to watch the videos, and I started to look at the numbers and say, well, maybe there's something going on here. And ultimately, in late 2014 and early 2015, more episodes on a regular basis started to come out. Now, during that time, there's been some changes, not only with, you know, the content and product reviews and a little bit of how-tos and the Q&A episodes and more, but also the actual physical space as well. And that's going from, which you can't see very well in the photo, we may adjust this during the produced version that will be up later, going from a much larger space to ultimately a smaller space, which is where we are today. And ultimately, in new episodes coming out in the coming weeks and months, more towards the summer of 2016, you'll start to see the comparisons and the contrast between those spaces and how it relates to lighting and home automation and all of the different topics that I tend to talk about on the show. And so ultimately, like I said, the show became a thing. People were watching it. Some of our highest rated episodes are the LED light bulb buying guides, which the first one came out in the summer of 2014. Again, we did it in 2015, we'll do it in 2016, but also some of the home automation products, the Nest thermostat, the Philips Hue light bulbs, and most recently, of course, the Amazon Echo Dot. You know, the show is called Lighting Answers, but of course it has been more than just about lighting, especially recently with our sensor episodes and again the home automation products that we've talked about. Because lighting, of course, when it's just controlled via on-off switches and it's regular old incandescent light bulbs or the ugly CFLs, as I like to call them, it's not really that great. I like to try to teach people that you can make your space more beautiful through at least putting in dimmers. But of course, with home automation and smart home technology, you can create scenes and make ambiance and do a lot of cool tricks, and some of which you've seen on the show and some of which you'll be seeing shortly. But one thing, when you have a show for 2 years and you talk about lighting and you talk about home automation, you talk about these topics and you look at the industry and what the industry is doing, both industries, and also what people are doing in terms of what people are demanding, what are they putting in their homes, what are they talking about. And you have to start to think, well, as a business owner, and this is a business, it used to be a hobby, but not anymore, you have to think about how you get people to your brand, to your website, which we soft launched our website last fall, to the YouTube channel, to all the social media outlets. And Lighting Answers made sense in terms of how we identified ourselves several years ago, because it was going to be about lighting, it was going to be about home automation and answering your questions. And I think that that has really stuck with people and people enjoy it. People have said that it's great to have such a resource. But as time goes on, you always have to evaluate how things are going. And the question is, does it make sense to continue exactly what we've been doing for the past 2 years, or potentially make a small change? And anyone, if my slide would move forward. Anyways, when it's time to think about changing something with a brand, with an identity, or whatever, you have to think about what is the best bang for the buck, what is the best use of your time, does it make sense to do it, resources and whatnot, and how will your audience, how will your customers, so to speak, how will everyone react, and how will you get new ones, and does it make sense? And so you've probably guessed by now, and if you've looked at our Facebook feeds and Twitter feeds, which we've already made a minor change this morning, you've probably already figured out that we are making a change. In fact, the biggest change to Lighting Answers since we launched 2 years ago. So as of today, and it'll ripple throughout time in the next week or so, we are changing from Lighting Answers to Smarter Home Life. Now you might ask, well, what's in a name? The smart home, as many people talk about, is really this mythical, this mystical destination. It's been portrayed on TV series and sci-fi movies and all of this futuristic stuff. But it really is just a destination. A home by itself isn't really smart. It's about the items that you bring into it and the decisions that you make. You may already have some smart home devices, but you update them with software and firmware. You change how they're connected to each other. You even bring home just a regular LED, non-intelligent, just a regular LED light bulb, or some other energy-saving or resource-saving device or appliance. And that's what makes your home smarter every single day. And so Smarter Home Life is your guide. It's your companion on the journey of getting to that mystical place of a smart home. But truly, the journey and the process is building your smarter home. And that's what we are all about now. And we're going to, like I said, we're not going to forget about our roots with lighting and LED lighting. We'll continue to produce episodes on those topics as long as people really demand them. But this now allows us to just increase the scope a little bit and talk about a few more things that we've talked about before and really rebalance things. But I want to say one thing, and I'm not really specifically talking about any one big tech media outlet, but while waffles sound really good this morning here at about 10:20 a.m. Phoenix time, we're not going to be bringing you recipes for crockpot pot roast or waffles with strawberries and whatnot like some other tech media outlets. We're going to stick to what we're talking about. We may tend to bring you a little bit more things, perhaps along the fringe of the smarter home and technology in general, but we're going to try to stay on course and on track for what we actually are supposed to be talking about. The other thing that I will mention as we move forward is that your support in terms of watching and subscribing and liking and sharing on social media is fantastic. And some of you have opted to help contribute directly through Patreon, which is a monthly optional contribution program for creators like myself and many others. And if you want to throw a buck or two our way, that is super. It's fantastic. We're going to continue releasing the episodes for free on YouTube, but if you want to help contribute to the show, in addition to, we make some revenue through the ads that you see on YouTube, through our affiliate links that we put out through, say, Amazon and through other websites. But direct contributions are super helpful. And if you don't want to do it on a monthly basis, if you go to our YouTube channel page, on the right side, there's a little link that you could, to support the show, even if you want to throw us $5 once in a blue moon. So any amount of support helps, and just know that the episodes are going to continue to be released free. But I saw this on a pedicab around here the other day, and I just thought that's sort of an interesting thing. This channel, this whole, I don't want to call it a project, but because it's not, this is a business and it's not a hobby. It started out as one, it started out as a project, but it really is no longer a hobby, and this is a good part of how I make a living. And we're trying, myself, and slowly as we add on more people, we really want to bring this up to the next level and take it to somewhere that's really going to be incredible, with millions of views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and make it truly something remarkable. And mainly, again, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the community. So speaking of a few things, the summer, where you're going to see some additional, there's been some changes that have gone on. I actually quit my full-time job last year to focus on this a bit more, and this summer I actually get all of my time to focus on smarter home life. So you'll start to see our website get a few more articles than it has been. It kind of did a soft launch back last fall. You'll see additional videos, more balanced on various topics that we've talked about, including the Q&A episodes that we just got going again. So starting in June, there will be a lot more stuff rolling out, and it should be pretty darn exciting. So without taking up too much more time, I think there might be another topic. If I look on my cheat sheet here, oh yes, the winners, that's right. I think we have a slide for that. The giveaway winners. I had purchased some of the thingCHARGERs, which I actually don't have in my hand right now. thingCHARGER is just a great way to charge your devices and not block your outlets, but I won't go into it. We have plenty of review episodes where we talk about that particular product, but I actually acquired it through their original crowdfunding campaign. We did a review episode, and then they said, hey, that's great. Do you want a few more to use as giveaways? And of course I said yes. So thank you again to thingCHARGER for that. They made the giveaway possible that we've been running since last month about this time, and many of you have entered, and that's fantastic. And I have the winners. If I can have not the envelope, but the Post-it note, please. So we did 3 of these, and they're fully equipped thingCHARGERs. They've got all the bells and whistles and all that good stuff. So the 3 winners, and I'll be emailing you today after the show officially, but if you're watching right now, Fred Holmes, Stephen Taylor, and Chris Cosino. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, Chris. You are the 3 winners for 3 individual thingCHARGER packages, and we'll get your information and your shipping address and all that through emails and get those on their way to you. Thank you for watching our 2-year anniversary special, our live special, the first time we've done something live. We'll have an edited and slightly more produced version of this that'll come out on the YouTube channel within the next 24 hours. You'll see the branding kind of reverberate through our various social media properties and the website over the next week. And the first episode under the new branding will come out next week. So as always, I am Joe DeGanzik, formerly of Lighting Answers and now of Smarter Home Life, and I will see you next time.